Hi guys, this is Yancy Berry's Celebrity Life Coach, and I'm going to share with you today 2 ways to master perseverance. I want you to please share in the comments below after you watch this video. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your success stories with perseverance and how it's worked out for you, and also difficulty. I love to comment with you back and forth how I might be able to be of service and help you to be better than you are today, and also how you can help me. Let me know your thoughts and give me your feedback, okay? I really appreciate your time today, and I'm really excited for this talk because it's the most important thing. Why perseverance? Quite simply, perseverance is the number one requirement that it takes for success and achievement. It's a number one. It's above everything else. So not just for accomplishing stuff, not just for getting things, although that's fantastic, it's also for internal goals. Perseverance. What I work with clients and with myself typically is internal states of being, emotional well-being, the release of ego. It's big for me because it helps me to achieve all these other things more easily. It also creates joy and well-being, happiness, love inside of myself, these internal goals. It takes perseverance to achieve these goals, internal just as much as it does external goals, you guys. I've built a great life. I live my dream, helping people to achieve their goals, helping people to be happy, helping people to be fit is my dream life. Nothing for me personally feels better than helping someone get what they want and getting that feedback from them. It literally feeds my soul. And I get to do that every single day, 7 days out of 7, because I have done the work. I have persevered. And you're gonna persevere too, and you already have in so many ways, but you're gonna get even better. You're gonna be able to go when people quit. And that's the difference between people who succeed, people who win, and people who lose, people who succeed and people who fail. People who succeed are just able to persevere longer. They're able to go that extra mile, and we're gonna show you the way. I basically, at this point in my life, am capable. I am able to wake up and work toward what I want from when I wake up to when I go to bed every day. And I'm able to do that because I have built the perseverance muscle in me. Yes, I take breaks during the course of the day, but I can wake up and go from when I wake up to when I go to bed. And so often that's what it takes. You know, it doesn't have to be that way. Success can be very easy, and I'll talk to you later today about how your ultimate breakthroughs generally are easier than you thought. But so often it takes this work. It takes the guts to be able to wake up and go and keep putting one foot in front of each other and walk so that you can run and run so then you can fly. And most importantly, what I did is I just didn't quit. Okay, and this was not always the case, you guys. If anyone knows my story, and I'll share it with you right now briefly, I quit everything. Every single thing difficult in my life up until a certain point, I quit. I was the king of quitters. If it was hard, I gave up. I started giving up in high school. I gave up in my 20s. And at about age 26, the most important thing happened to me. I was able to not give up on something, and I became clean and sober. And I've been clean and sober ever since, 22 years. And that launched me into the not giving up mode. It launched me into the perseverance mode, which has then moved into different areas in my life as I've gone along, and it's been a big deal. So much so, I'll tell you a story. My mentor, the person who I got clean and sober with, I started trying to go into the foray of different careers in which I built clientele. And he told me, dude, you need to stop. He says, you have to stop because trying to gain clientele and doing these jobs in which you have to sell products and sell these things, you're just not built for it. You know, when my mentor told me that you can't do it, it crushed me, man. It was such a big deal for him to say, stop. You take things too personally. When you don't succeed, it drags you down too much. He told me to stop. He said, go into customer service or something. Go into a nice basic job in which you don't have to try to put yourself out there. You don't have to try to sell. You don't have to try to gain clientele. He told me to give up because I wasn't built for it. And he was right back then. But here's what I did. I did do that. I went into customer service for like 4 years from age 26 to 30. And what I did in that time is the step number one you have to take to master perseverance. What I did is I began to flood myself with positivity, goodness, and success stories. You guys, step number one to mastering perseverance is to flood yourself with positivity. All the good stuff. You guys, garbage in, garbage out is true, but so is its opposites. And those times where I was learning how to become a master perseverer, I would flood myself with stories. All of the stories of success. I'd read all the personal development books. And although it didn't take root in me for a while, it began to plant the seeds. So much. I'd read these books and I'd read these stories and I'd listen to these talks so much that it became a part of me. And then at a certain point, if you pour so much good stuff into yourself, at a certain point, it must take root and it must start to come out of you. Garbage in, garbage out is true. So is its opposite. All that good stuff in, all that beauty, all that success, all that well-being, all that happiness, all that joy, all that achieving dreams poured into me, then began to pour out of me. And I became a successful human being. And I took a massive leap. And I went into finance. I became a financial advisor at age 30, and I succeeded in that world. Only barely graduating high school. There were people in that world that were people with MBAs and PhDs in finance. These old gray-haired dudes that everybody were looking to become their financial advisor. And I went into that world, and because I flooded myself with so much good stuff, so much positivity, so many success stories, I figured out a way to make it in that world. And it was a big deal for me. It was a big deal for me because it gave me the confidence. So that was step number one. Flood yourself with goodness. And to this day, I do it, guys. I do it to this day. I'm in a different world. You know, I became one of the country's most successful. I became one of the country's most successful personal trainers. You know, I became renowned. You know, I had people all over the country and in some cases out of the country saying, dude, I've heard about you. I heard you're great. Because after I left finance and I went into this world, I gave it every single thing I did. I gave it every single thing I could with that same gusto, that same like amount of guts every single day, waking up and pouring good stuff into me so that people that I connected with were like, man, something about this guy makes me want to work with him. That same thing will happen for you. And then there's step number two, and this is a biggie. Step number two for mastering perseverance is trying over and over again in new ways. Okay? When you fail, try again. When you fail, try again. But let me tell you something. Trying the same thing over and over again in the exact same way is insanity. You know, there is that famous quote, you know, trying things in the same way and expecting different results is insanity. All you have to do is try in new ways. Try and adjust, and then bingo. Your success will happen as surely as night follows day. Just keep trying in new ways. That's all you have to do. Also, psychologically, when you try in a new way, when you try that same goal in a new way, you get a little bit of hope because you go, okay, I learned from this way. It didn't work out. I'm going to do it just as little bit of way. And it's just about experimentation. It's just about experimentation until you figure it out, right? So do these two things and just don't give up, you guys. Continue to persevere. Here's the deal. Ultimately, People just give up too soon. They flat out quit 5 minutes before the miracle happens so often. Don't be that person. Do the one thing that it takes to succeed. Persevere. Continue while other people around you quit. I'm gonna tell you guys something else. You may be the only personal development book that someone ever reads. You know, people who are watching you work toward your goals. Sometimes people who are knocking you working toward your goals. You may be the only personal development book that they ever read that gives them the guts to try. You know, the butterfly effect is real. You make one little bit of difference here and it spreads out with a ripple effect, spreads out, and the next thing you know, you're affecting whole families, people on the other side of the earth, and you didn't even know it. The butterfly effect is real. Persevere, you guys. So with joy and a positive mental attitude, don't let it be such a grit, such a fight. With joy, go for it and persevere. And here's the deal. When you ultimately break through, you'll be surprised. Your final breakthrough is ultimately going to be easy most of the time. Not necessarily all of the work in the meantime, but your ultimate breakthrough, it's so funny how it often is so easy. You know, I'm gonna speak to a couple of things just because they've been my experience. From about age 19 to age 26, I tried in all these various ways to get clean and sober. I would not wish that world on anybody. You guys, the failure was so painful and my life was so rough. And at the end, the last 6 months, I was completely suicidal. And fortunately, thank God, I figured it out before it was too late. But ultimately, when I finally got clean and sober, it was actually a lot easier than I thought. My breakthrough was actually easy. Same thing with money. My first $100,000 year of income, I had tried for so many years, it was so difficult. I was thinking of all these people, all these success stories, these people who broke through it. For some reason, 6 figures it was a big thing to me. It was like a magic number or something. You know that in 2012, the first year I finally broke through and made $100,000, it was actually easy. It wasn't even hard because I had done all this work and I was in this flow, and the next thing you know, I was like, oh, I'm pretty sure this is gonna happen this year. Next thing you know, it was easy, boom, breakthrough, and it's been easy ever since. Now it's the next thing. How do you make 250, 500, a million? Ultimately, that breakthrough will be easy, typically. Maybe not all the work in the meantime, but you'll be surprised when you break through how easy it may be. And I'm wishing that for you guys. I'm sending every single bit of well-being, every single well-wish to you guys in breaking through on your goals, and that it be easy, that you be able to persevere and show others, guide people, and be the light for them. Have that butterfly effect for them. I'm sending it to you, just like I'm sending it to myself, knowing that our breakthrough is as sure as night follows day. You cannot fail if you don't give up. Flood yourself with all of the good things. And secondly, try again in new ways. It's inevitable. And you guys know it. You can feel it. You can see it in yourself. And I know you can see it in me too. All right, let's go. If you liked this teaching, please give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. More teachings every single week, continually, more workouts, all these awesome different things. I'm so grateful for your time today. Be well.